The first adjustment within the Awaken Warrior sequence is the seated twist, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have Antonika bring her right hand behind her onto the floor and her left hand onto her knee. So we always suggest that the students twist to the right side first. Two reasons. One, you remember which side you're on and which side is next. And two, it has to do with the ascending and descending colon. So we say that you twist to the right, it helps with elimination and not having constipation, okay? So she twists to the right. So what I do is I place my hand on that shoulder in the direction in which she's twisting. My other hand, which you'll see in a moment, goes by the other shoulder blade. So we always cue the students to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. So the pressure or the twist is applied on that exhalation, okay? So here we go. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Hold and release. Okay, now you'll be able to see the position of the other hand. So now she goes in the other direction. So again, she's twisting to the left, so I bring my left hand on the left shoulder. The right hand goes onto the shoulder blade. Okay, so again, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And it's always recommended that you breathe with the student. Okay, this way you're connected, you know where they are. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Hold and release. Okay. So just so you can see clearly, let's have you face that way, Antonika. Just turn to the mirror completely. Okay. So the positioning of the other hand is either on this shoulder blade and you're taking them into the twist, or on this shoulder blade here as you take them into the twist. Okay, so that's pretty much where you're placing, right on the shoulder blade. Okay. All right. So now go face that way again. So now she's going to go into the seated forward fold, which is the next part of the sequence. So she inhales her hands up to the ceiling. Exhale comes into the forward fold. So with this one, very gentle. It's still early in the warm-up phase. We just place a little pressure on the back here. And again, on the exhalation, we press. Inhale. Exhale, gently press, encouraging the student to reach their hands forward, walk their fingertips forward, wherever they can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then coming onto hands and knees, preparing for cat-cow. So for cat-cow, we want to make sure that the knee and the hips are stacked, the shoulders and the wrists are stacked, okay? So with this one, she's going to inhale, drop the belly, curve the spine, roll the shoulders back, look up toward the ceiling. So she inhales. So there's two options here. One is just to gently roll the shoulders back a little bit. Just a little rolling, reminding them to roll the shoulders back, okay? The other one is to very softly, with a very loose fist, just press down, just reminding to give a little bit of a deeper press. Sometimes people are very flexible, some people are a little bit tighter. So just give them a little press to show them how to open up. That's pressing down. Now the exhalation is a little bit tricky, so you want to kind of hook with your wrist and your palm heel around the rib cage, right around here, and just on the exhalation, pull them up a little bit deeper. Okay, so again, inhale. I can just softly press or roll the shoulders back. Exhale with the palm heel, just pull and round and release back to neutral position. Okay, so that's for your cat-cow. All right, so now the next step is a little bit of a balancing and a core strengthening, upper body strengthening little sequence that we do. So she's going to have her right leg go back onto the ball. Good, lifting the leg up. That's fine, yeah, up. And then reach the left hand up, exactly, okay? So with this pose, what we're looking for is alignment. We want to make sure that the alignment from the hip to the foot, from the shoulder to the wrist. Common things that you'll see with beginners is they're kind of off like this, or this leg is kind of like that. So the adjustment is very simple. You're just looking for the line. So just lift up a little bit. You want to have the straight line. Lift up a little bit, you want to have the straight line, that's all, okay? The next part of this sequence, for adding a little bit more of a challenge, is she's going to bring her right knee out toward the side and bring her left arm out toward the side. Same thing, you're looking for alignment. So ideally, hip and knee are aligned. So just simply maybe lifting up a little bit like that, very gentle, not forcing it, just knowing where the student's limits are. And then left hand in line with the shoulder, okay? If she has the strength and flexibility, she can straighten the leg out, flexing the heel. Again, just small little adjustments, okay? Then let's bring her back to center, and then she can rest, okay? We do the other side, same thing. So send the left leg back, right arm goes forward, tiny little adjustments, just looking for the lines. Then she takes the arm out to the side, knee comes out to the side. So again, just looking for this line, straight line. So I might want to just bring this over, and then hip and knee align, or leg and foot, okay? Then back to center, and then rest, okay? The next one, it's not in the sequence, but it's a little variation we've been adding in lately. So she's going to send her right leg back again, left arm out, bending the right knee, reach back and grab the foot. So I want to be where her leg has been lifted, because that's where she can fall. So I'm going to come around and place the side of my calf muscle, my knee, right there. And then I'm going to hold the foot in the hand and then gently roll the shoulder back, taking her deeper. And she looks up toward the ceiling. Good. Over the shoulder this way. Yes, good. So we always want to give the students, we're directing their gaze, their drishti. Where are they looking? So she's looking up. Good. Now for the challenge, if she wants, she can switch hands. So she can take this hand and grab the foot. This is more like dancer's pose. So notice what I did, because now she's leaning this direction. This is where she can fall. So I'm now behind her, and I can give a little support here, roll the shoulder back, give direction of where to look, and then rest, and then down. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we're going to send the other leg back, and then bend the knee, grab the foot. So again, I'm standing where the leg has been lifted, because she can fall this way. So I position my foot, gently roll back a little bit, or she switches hands. So now I come back to here, because that's where she can fall. I position my knee and my foot and my leg, and just lift up, and maybe roll the shoulder back, eyes up, good. Come back to center, and then usually after this they need a child's pose. So she goes to child's pose. So child's pose is a nice adjustment. So you can be right behind them, and with the heel of your hand, you're just giving a nice little massage in the lower back. It's nice. So just kind of like if you have a cat and you've seen the cat kind of do this when they're about to lay in your bed. They come do this before they lay down. Exactly the same thing for all the cat lovers out there. All the dog lovers have no clue what I'm talking about. Okay. So the other one is I base with one hand, meaning I press down. So I'm using my right hand on the right upper lower back area, right above the butt, so to speak, and right by the lower back, and I'm pressing here. And then with my left hand, I'm pressing the shoulder away. I'm just kind of spreading down toward the fingertips. I'm pressing the muscles and pushing them toward the shoulder. I'm not pushing the shoulder, that will hurt. I'm pressing down and away. And same thing, I base with the left, and then my right hand spreads, pressing away, okay? And then the last one you can do is with the thumbs along the muscles, not the spine, never on the spine. You never know if someone has a herniated disc or spine, some type of challenges, so you always want to use your thumbs on the muscles and just giving a nice little massage, okay? We're going to get ready to go into downward facing dog. There are many different adjustments and assists that you can do in down dog, but let me just start very basic. It's very important to remember the hand positioning and placement and the utilization of the fingers. So we say fingertips spread wide, pointer fingers going directly forward, pinkies towards the edges of the mat. And you really want to make sure your students' fingertips are spread pretty wide. So you may want to go over to them and kind of just spread them out. That's number one. Two, is they should be pressing down so much firmly with their fingertips that you're not able to lift. So if I was to come around and try to lift her fingertips off the ground, I shouldn't be able to, because she's going to press down, and then she's really utilizing her fingertips. Sometimes students will complain that their wrist hurts when they're doing yoga. It's because they're dumping all the weight into the wrist and they're not using the fingertips. So you want to make sure you're pressing to the fingertips. That's the fingers and the hands. Second, now we're going to go into the forearms. So we want to press the forearms in toward each other. Okay, so come up onto knees just a little bit, into your knees, and lean back like you're about to do down dog. So we're pressing in. I'm pushing out and she's squeezing in. That's we call it an internal rotation and an external rotation. So she's squeezing in, that's the internal rotation. Her rolling her shoulders away from her ears is the external rotation. So squeezing in with the forearms, but shoulders roll away, and then keeping the head between the arms. Now she turns the toes over and she presses into her downward facing dog, okay? So putting it all together, hands nice and strong. I can't lift the fingers, squeezing the forearms in, nice and tight, roll the shoulders away, head in between the arms. Eyes are looking toward the feet, but the head is between the arms. Sometimes people push their head past, not encouraged, can hurt the neck over time. For now, we want to keep the spine and the neck in a straight line, okay? Next, we move into the hips, pelvis, lower back. Very simple one is just to take your hands and just press. Notice my stance. I'm coming into kind of like a warrior one stance, and I'm pressing and I'm pushing back. So I'm pushing that way, up on an angle, not just straight back, but up toward the corner of the ceiling, toward the top of the wall, pressing back. So you can place your hands either flat on the lower back, or what I like to do is kind of hold the hip bone. I use that a lot. We use that a lot as a kind of like a little handle. I hold the hip bone and I press back. I'm thinking of just lengthening her spine. Okay? So that's one variation. Here's another one. Some of these look weird, but they feel great. This is one of the three that we do that looks weird but feels great. So with my belly or on the upper back, depending on the height of the teacher, the height of the student, I'm going to press and I'm going to position my belly on her back. And with my toes, I'm pushing that way. So my hands I'm pressing, with my toes I'm pressing. If I want, I can release the hands like this. But with my belly, I'm pressing in that direction up. Okay, that's one. Here's another. I can go behind, widen my stance, bend my knees to protect my back. You don't want to do this. Same way if you're lifting weights, you don't want to hurt your back. You're going to bend your knees, holding very high on the hip, right below the hip bone. Hold high, bend your knees, and with your weight, just pull back, taking them deeper into the pose. Okay, just like that. In the same token, you can take a belt or a strap, or in this case, we have a kind of like a little shawl or scarf, and you just hold it very high, kind of hook it. Same exact thing. Bend your knees, and then lean back. Okay, takes them a little bit deeper into the pose. And then the final one, another one that looks weird but feels great. I'm going to wrap my forearms and my biceps around her hips. I'm going to place my hands together like a little triangle or a heart right on the back of here. I'm going to press with the hands as I squeeze and lift. I'm hugging the hips, lifting with my elbows as I press the hands down. A little tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it feels amazing. Okay, so again, wide, bend knees, hook, squeeze, press, lift. So I'm squeezing the thighs, squeezing the hips in, lifting up, and pressing my hands down. Okay, all right, if you need to rest, you could rest. One more, not for everybody. It's a little bit challenging. I'm going to show you. So we're going to stack down dog on down dog. So actually, can you move a little bit to the back of the mat? So she's going to go into her downward facing dog. This one, you have to be really comfortable with the student, obviously. And two, you have to be strong yourself to be able to hold this so you don't knock the student over. So I'm going to go into a down dog. And I'm going to place my feet here. Okay, so just watch. So I place the hands down. I look at where the feet are going to go. I position one foot using the arch. Not really using the bone or the heel, that'll hurt. So the arch, I press, and then I push back. Okay. So I'm pushing with my feet, her hips still in the direction of up and back, and I'm pressing with my hands to go deeper. So it's stacking down dog and down dog. And carefully, with just as much caution, come off. Voila. Okay, so those are your down dog adjustments and assists. And of course, it's always nice to do a little massage if they need it. That's a lot of work. They were on the wrist a lot, so you might encourage your students to roll the wrist, massage the wrist. So on the hands quite a bit. Okay, so now they're in down dog. In the sequence, now we encourage them to come forward into forward fold. So she walks forward, comes to the forward fold. So forward fold is primarily two. Number one, very important, you must place the hand on the lower back, kind of like the base of the spine area, gently pressing down. I'm kind of basing her, grounding her. Then I take this hand and press in, bringing the chest toward the thigh, head toward the knees. Okay, so I'm pressing on this arm first, then with this hand pushing in that direction, softly taking them deeper into the forward bend. Okay, like that. The second one, she's going to stay in her forward bend. Another one that looks weird but feels great. So she's in the forward bend. I'm kind of like going to bear hug her. So she goes into her forward bend. I bend my knees. Very important not to let the private parts touch the student, so keep the distance. And I'm going to wrap like this around right below the buttocks. So So I grab the thighs, I press with my chest on the back, and I squeeze in, kind of coming into a gentle bear hug. And then the release, or in this case we call it the goodbye, is just as important. So I slowly come off, and I make sure she's stable, and then I slowly come off into there. And she would rise up. Okay, so that's the forward fold or forward bend Uttanasana. So let's go into mountain pose, which is the next one in the sequence. So mountain pose is very simple. 3 little simple things. Again, coming into grounding the student. So her feet just a little bit apart, hips in line with the toes, toes in line with the knees, everything's aligned. I'm gonna gently press down. Okay, so I'm just grounding her. I'm just holding the hip again by the pelvis, by the bone, and just rooting her down. That's the first one. The second one is just gently rolling the shoulders back and away. And then finally with the fingertips, kind of like these little claw hands, I'm gonna press here and lift up. So kind of at the base of the skull with the thumbs and with the fingertips along the temple, along the side of the head, just lifting up, lengthening, okay? So let's just do it facing the camera. So let's just turn this way. So again, just grounding here, rolling, shoulders back, fingertips, lifting and making them taller. And that's for your mountain pose, Tadasana. All right.